If she allows herself this one moment, she becomes unstoppable. But most strong women never let themselves feel it. That invisible weight, the pressure to handle everything, to appear perfect, and to never falter, can quietly erode your energy, clarity, and even the relationships you care about most. I'm Dr. Sophia Bennett, and for over 15 years, I've worked with high achieving women who feel stretched, exhausted, or invisible under the weight of expectation. Whether you're a CEO managing multiple responsibilities, a parent juggling endless demands, or a professional navigating workplace pressures, this message is for you. What most people don't realize is that carrying this invisible burden doesn't make you invincible. It slowly chips away at confidence, joy, and connection. The weight of being the strong one accumulates silently, day after day, until you wake up wondering where your energy went and why you feel so distant from the people you love. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on the hidden pressures strong women carry and, more importantly, revealing 5 science-backed strategies to reclaim your energy, your voice, and your sense of freedom. By the end of this video, you'll understand not just why these pressures exist, but exactly how to transform your relationship with them. Many women have been taught that being strong means never asking for help, never showing doubt, and silently managing everything alone. They push themselves through long workdays, relentless responsibilities, and constant social and professional expectations. This isn't just exhausting, it's fundamentally at odds with how human beings are designed to function. What I've discovered through studying hundreds of high achieving women is that this pressure builds silently, creating anxiety, sleepless nights, and subtle tension in the closest relationships. Friends, partners, even family can sense the strain without knowing why. The saddest part? Those who love you often feel helpless because the strength you project seems to say, I don't need you. I've witnessed incredibly competent women sacrifice their peace, their authenticity, and their presence because they believed strength meant isolation. They optimize their schedules, suppress their emotions, and move through life with a quiet desperation masked by achievements and accomplishments. The truth is, real strength includes the courage to be vulnerable, to ask for support, and to acknowledge your limits. And that's exactly where these 5 transformative strategies come in. I call the first technique the emotional release reset, and here's why it's so powerful. Bottling up emotions triggers elevated cortisol, the stress hormone, which negatively impacts mood, sleep, quality of life, and cognitive clarity. When you suppress your feelings, anger, sadness, fear, or even joy, your nervous system stays in a constant state of alert. Research from Stanford University demonstrates that structured emotional release practices can reduce cortisol by up to 22% in just weeks. This isn't just about feeling better, it's about rewiring your stress response at a fundamental level. To implement this, dedicate 15 minutes each evening to release emotions you've held back throughout the day. This can take many forms. Write in a journal without any filter, speak aloud to yourself about what you're feeling, or allow yourself a private cry if that's what your body needs. The key is focusing entirely on expressing what you feel without judgment or shame. No editing, no perfectionism, just raw, honest emotion. For an advanced variation, combine journaling with 5 minutes of deep diaphragmatic breathing to further enhance emotional regulation. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 6. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, signaling safety to your body. One of my clients shared, after 2 weeks of daily emotional resets, I felt lighter than I have in years. That tension I didn't realize I was carrying in my shoulders and chest, it disappeared. I could breathe differently, think more clearly, and I even started sleeping better. That's the kind of transformation this simple practice creates. Now, strategy number 4 is what I call the vulnerability blueprint, and it's even more powerful. Neuroscience confirms that authentic vulnerability strengthens social bonds and increases oxytocin, the trust hormone, which enhances emotional resilience and deepens connection. When you share genuine thoughts and struggles with others, you activate their compassion response. Harvard research indicates that women who practice vulnerability report 35% higher satisfaction in their relationships and feel significantly more supported and less alone. Here's how to implement it. Each week, choose one low risk situation to share a thought, fear, or struggle with someone you trust. This might be telling a coworker, I've been stressed about this project, or telling a friend, I'm not sure I'm handling motherhood well right now. Begin small, then gradually open to deeper truths. The goal is to practice being seen and accepted as you actually are, not just as the strong facade. For the advanced variation, keep a reflection journal of these vulnerable moments. Note how you felt before sharing, the response you received, and what changed internally after. Over time, you'll see patterns of increased confidence, stronger connections, and the surprising realization that people respect you more, not less, when you show your humanity. A client noted, after opening up at work about my struggles, I felt relief and connection I hadn't realized I was missing. My confidence grew naturally because I wasn't spending energy pretending anymore. My relationships deepened, and my colleagues treated me differently, with more warmth, more humanity. That's what happens when you allow yourself to be seen. Strategy number 3 is something I call the strength recalibration protocol. Chronic self-reliance without adequate rest can result in significant cognitive fatigue and emotional depletion. Your brain and body weren't designed to operate in constant productivity mode. Research from the University of Michigan demonstrates that integrating deliberate rest and supportive collaboration increases resilience and productivity by up to 40%. When you rest, you're not being lazy. You're restoring your capacity to think clearly, lead effectively, and show up authentically. To implement this strategy, schedule structured breaks where you intentionally step away from responsibilities for 20 to 30 minutes daily. Use this time to meditate, take a mindful walk in nature, practice gentle yoga, or simply sit quietly. Additionally, identify 3 small tasks you can delegate or release entirely. This isn't about doing less work, it's about being intentional about where your energy goes. The advanced variation is to introduce weekly power check ins where you identify 3 accomplishments from the week and 3 things you're mentally releasing. This practice clears cognitive clutter, reinforces what you've achieved, and creates psychological distance from perfectionism. A client shared, I didn't realize how much pressure I was carrying until I started stepping back daily. Now I feel capable, calm, and more connected to the people around me. My work is better because I'm not exhausted, and my relationships are deeper because I'm actually present. That shift happens faster than you'd expect. Now we're getting to the really transformative ones. Strategy number 2 is what I call inner strength alignment. Aligning your actions with your core values reduces cognitive dissonance and mental strain. When there's a gap between who you are and how you're living, it creates internal friction that exhausts you. Yale University research shows that women who consistently make choices aligned with their core values experience a 50% reduction in stress symptoms within 3 months. You're not just less stressed, you're more authentic, more confident, and more resilient. Here's how to do it. Each morning, write or journal about one action you'll take that day that reflects your core values. This might be, I value connection, so I'll have a real conversation with my partner instead of scrolling. Or, I value creativity, so I'll spend 20 minutes on my passion project. At night, reflect on how aligned your day actually was and gently adjust as needed. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction. For the advanced version, pair daily alignment with weekly reflection on long-term goals. Ask yourself, are my daily choices moving me toward the life I actually want? Am I saying yes to things that matter and no to things that don't? This creates powerful momentum over time. One client said, I finally feel like my actions reflect who I truly am, not just what I think I should be doing. It's liberating. I'm making different choices now, and they feel right in my body, not just in my head. That authenticity is magnetic. And now, the number 1 strategy that transforms everything. This is the crown jewel, the total resilience transformation. This combines emotional, cognitive, and relational resilience into a single integrated approach. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that structured programs of this type increase emotional stability, reduce burnout, and improve overall life satisfaction by up to 65%. Neuroplasticity studies confirm that repeated practice literally rewires your brain for calm, adaptive responses to stress. Here's the implementation. Commit to a daily 30-minute practice combining mindful meditation, 10 minutes, reflective journaling, 10 minutes, and selective vulnerability sharing, 10 minutes. This can be with a therapist, close friend, or trusted family member. Add weekly social connection sessions where you genuinely engage with others and monthly stress audits to identify hidden pressure points you might be carrying unconsciously. For the advanced variation, gradually introduce adaptive challenges like public speaking, leading a project, or navigating a difficult conversation with support. This strengthens your nervous system's ability to handle stress without becoming overwhelmed. Women implementing this method report dramatic improvements across every area of life: increased energy and mental clarity, emotional balance even during challenges, and significantly stronger relationships. One client said, "I finally feel seen by the people I love because I show up fully without pretending to be invincible. My partner told me he feels closer to me than ever. My kids see me handling stress with grace instead of just white-knuckling through it." That's the kind of transformation that ripples through your entire life. Here's something crucial to understand. When you implement emotional release, you create the safety to be vulnerable. When you practice vulnerability, you naturally recalibrate your understanding of strength. When you align your daily actions with your values, you build genuine resilience. And when you combine all five, the transformation is exponential, not just additive. Here's what happens. Your stress levels decrease while your resilience grows. The invisible weight of being strong begins to lift. Your relationships deepen because you're not performing anymore. You're showing up as your authentic self. Your work becomes more meaningful because it's aligned with who you actually are. Even your health improves as your nervous system learns to regulate without constant tension. And here's something beautiful. As you transform your relationship with strength, everyone around you gives you permission to be human too. Your partner can finally support you instead of admiring you from a distance. Your children learn that strength includes rest, vulnerability, and asking for help. Your colleagues respect you more deeply because they see your humanity. You're no longer the impressive woman on a pedestal. You're the real woman in the room, and that's infinitely more powerful. If this resonates with you, this is your moment. Everything you've been waiting for, the peace, the connection, the freedom, starts with one decision today. The truth is, female psychology is complex. We're wired to hold everything together, to be the emotional anchor, to sacrifice our own needs. When we fight this instead of working with it, we exhaust ourselves. Our prefrontal cortex becomes less active. We operate from fear instead of wisdom. Women also have a deeper sensitivity to relational disconnection. When we feel unseen, it triggers intense stress. That's why so many strong women appear fine but feel dying inside. Their relationships feel hollow because they're not truly known. The more they perform strength, the more isolated they become. Women aren't breaking down because they're weak. They're breaking down because they're fighting their own nature. Real strength for women isn't about doing more. It's about aligning with how you're designed to thrive. The woman you could become: calm, connected, confident, fully herself. She's already inside you. Stop fighting your nature. Start working with your psychology. Your freedom is possible, but only if you choose it now. If you felt this invisible weight, if you recognize yourself in the pressure to hold everything together, if you've ever wondered why you feel so exhausted despite appearing to have it all together, like this video and comment below. Let me know. What does strength mean to you? Have you sacrificed your own peace trying to be the strong one? I read every comment, and I want to hear your story. Your experience matters. Your struggle is real. And you're not alone in this. For more on female psychology, emotional resilience, and breaking free from the pressure to be perfect, subscribe to Dr. Sophia Bennett.